Okay, here's the next part of muscular system. This video has a lot of helpful videos, as do the other ones, so please watch all those little clips too. They will help you. Okay, so this is section 5. We're going to look at muscles that help with breathing. So there's 2 parts to breathing, inspiration and expiration, and there's different muscles that help with each of those. So the inspiratory muscles are your diaphragm and your external intercostals, and your rib cage there. So those 2 work together to help you breathe. And then expiration is you relax your inspiratory muscles. So you're relaxing your diaphragm and external intercostals, and then you're also contracting your internal intercostals. Okay, so you can check out this table and read about that. And then these are your external intercostals, and then these are your internal intercostals. Okay. And what are we looking at here? Oh, yes, this is your diaphragm. Hold on. So this is the structure under your lungs that separates your thoracic cavity from your abdominal cavity, and it's just a sheet of muscle. Your lungs are just flaps of tissue, and your diaphragm is really, your diaphragm and your intercostals are really what make your diaphragm work, your lungs work. And then this is a hole for your vena cava, and this is a hole for your esophagus. So here is your diaphragm in a real human. There's your inferior vena cava. Here's your aorta. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, right here's your esophagus. I couldn't find it. So that's what it looks like in a real person. So watch that video to see what the intercostals do. Okay. And then the muscles in your abdominal wall are your rectus abdominis, your external obliques, internal obliques, and transversus abdominis. So you probably have heard of your abs. Those are your rectus abdominis. That's what you're thinking of. But these are all the muscles that make up that whole area. So they run at different angles. There's a lot of support that's needed there because there's no bones, and so the muscles have to go in all different directions to support your trunk. And there's a lot that they have to be able to do. So they help you with urination, defecation, childbirth, vomiting, coughing, and screaming. Okay, so those are some different muscles that you need to read about. And then here they are. You can see layer upon layer upon layer, all going in different directions for different purposes. So what you think of as a person's six-pack is the rectus abdominis. Then you have your external obliques here. You then have internal obliques inside, and then you have transversus abdominis, even deeper. So external obliques on the side, your rectus abdominis. Then you have internal obliques, and then underneath that you have transversus abdominis. Okay, so this is what the rectus abdominis looks like. This is your six-pack part, right? And then you have your 3 other layers. The most deep layer is the transversus abdominis, and then internal oblique, and then external oblique. Okay. Then we'll look at your pelvic muscles. So you have 2 paired muscles, levator ani and coccygeus. The functions of them are to support your pelvic organs. It helps lift your pelvic floor when you release feces. So these are really, really important muscles that we don't think about enough. So read through that table. And then here they are. Let's look at these different parts. This is in a female. So this is the vagina right here. You have the urethra up front, and then the anal canal behind that. And then here you have the levator ani. So that helps you defecate. This is your coccyx, your tailbone. And then your pelvic diaphragm is all of this right here, this structure. So it kind of separates that from the area below. Okay, then you have a urogenital diaphragm. This is inferior to the pelvic floor. This is where you have control over urination. So you have a urethral sphincter here. Let's see. So here is the anus. You have this external anal sphincter that allows you to like pinch off your feces. And then you have an external urethral sphincter. So these are both circular muscles, allows you to urinate. This isn't a male and this isn't a female. I didn't say that. And then you have this perineal muscle, and it's the same in both, just structured a little bit different. And then you have the vaginal opening here, whereas the males don't. Okay, so muscles of the pelvic floor and perineum. You have superficial perineal space, and that includes, some of these are your anal sphincter. So let's look at those. So male and female again, and these are just further down, right? We're moving more anterior. So this is your gluteus maximus. This is your levator ani. Right there's your anus. And then let's see, where are we? Bulbospongiosis and ischiocavernosus right here. And then same thing in females, just structured differently. So you have the same ones. And then there's the anus and the gluteus maximus. Okay, now we're moving back up and we're looking at the muscles of the in your scapula and arm area. So these they act in combination to fix your shoulder girdle, increase or move it to increase range of arm movements. You can do elevation, depression, rotation of your arm. So here they are. So here's your deltoid, your pectoralis major, your biceps brachii, and then your sternocleidomastoid. And then over here underneath of all of that, you have pectoralis minor, which is right under your pectoralis major. It goes in a different direction. You can see the direction's different. There's a subclavius right here under your clavicle. This is the serratus anterior. Those are the main ones, but then you have subscapularis and coracobrachialis too. So those all work together to move your arm in all the different directions it can move to support your ball and socket joint. And then there they are in a real person. Oops, shoot, I just missed that. So then you have the muscles of the back. These also help your shoulder move. You've got the trapezius right here. And what else are we looking at? Rhomboid minor, and rhomboid major. Levator scapulae, that helps you move your arm up. And then there's all these other minor muscles too. And I think that's the last slide of this PowerPoint.